Two blondes walked into a bar. You have no idea. You have an idea, but no one else has an idea. This has been a long time coming.
It has.
I'm so excited.
This has been, I think, your
about
first
this
week
podcast.
at work with Piper Lou. We had this conversation about doing this, right?
Yes, we totally did. And here it is. Live and in action. Annie and Megan, the podcast. So what official name did we decide on, girl?
It is two blondes walk into a bar. Walk or walked? Is it past tense or present tense? Two blondes walked into a bar?
I guess if you were telling a joke, you'd be like, two girls walked into a bar.
Two blondes.
Or two girls walk in. Two blondes.
What's the name of our podcast?
Two blondes walked into a bar. I think it's walked. I think it's past tense.
Okay. Well, maybe the reason why we're having so much trouble is because it's about a bar. I felt like I needed to have a little drink. So I am maybe already...
In all fairness, it is 3:15 your time. And that's like borderline happy hour. Like I can get on board with that. Like that's like you're creeping up to happy hour time. So I'm fine with that.
And it's after 12 your time. So that's legit too.
Yeah. Although you know that I strictly run on coffee at all hours of the day, even past the time I should be drinking caffeine. And I'm obsessed with our mugs. And I added a little sprinkle of Baileys in there just in celebration. Just a little in celebration.
It is a celebration today. I mean, we really needed to celebrate. I'm like literally like a Piper Lou walking billboard right now. Actually, you are too. Are you wearing a Piper Lou?
Aren't we always? Because I went running and then I came back and put my makeup on really quick. I do run in my Piper Lou stuff, but then I had the hat and I had this and I was like, okay.
We are both wearing.
No one's gonna be able to see it because of the mic.
We are both wearing our hats from the weekend. These are the $15 deals last weekend.
Okay, so like all the $15 deals are amazing, but the last couple weeks in particular, I'm obsessed. So this mug, don't you wish your girlfriend was
don't ya?
Or don't you wish your coffee was don't ya? Don't you wish your coffee was hot like me?
Yeah.
It's so good. And so this was a couple weeks ago. And then these hats were last week. And yes, you have the dream, achieve, believe. Dream. It's Achieve. Can I read? Literally can't.
Literally can't.
So I'm wearing the literally can't hat right now. And it's our hats. I live in our hats. I live in all of the things, but our hats, like pop it on if you're having a bad hair day, even if you're having a good hair day, like just let it fly.
Yeah.
So good.
They are so cute. I know. I was so excited that we had those for $15 Friday last week. I can't even tell you how excited I was that was one of our deals. Because we've never had those for a Friday deal ever. Like that's the first time ever.
You've never. Mm-mm. Oh my gosh.
So that was very exciting.
And not only that, like as if hats alone wouldn't have been enough. We also gave away $15 flasks.
Yes.
Like, and we've never had flasks before.
I know. It was just
an epic Friday.
Not to like make this all about Piper Lou, but I mean, it is the Piper Lou podcast. So, I mean, there is going to be some chatter about Piper Lou, but this coming Friday, we also have a new product as well.
Stop it. I don't know what it is.
Oh, you don't? I know what it is. You'll be getting a package at one of these days. One day this week, you'll be getting a box.
Well, okay. So speaking of our $15 Friday deal, I don't know if you guys saw my re-reveal, but as I was opening the box and I was at a housewarming party and I came back and I usually just like open the box just to see like, oh, okay, I have everything in here. I'll pull this out first, whatever. And I didn't do that. And so I opened the box live and I realized that I had two items in there that I was sure didn't belong to the $15 Friday deal because of their shape. Because I knew there were flasks and I knew there were hats. So Annie, I have to say that I am drinking.
Are you drinking out of my water bottle?
Out of your water bottle.
So
I ended up opening them. I know. But I couldn't help it. I had to see what they were because I was like, I can't have these wrap tumblers and not know like what design they are, not know what they are. And so Annie, I hate to say, but I'm not sending these to you. I'm just going to have to buy you your own set of water bottles because I am now drinking out of yours. And it's
Which
so
one is
good,
that
you
one?
guys. This is Yoga Pants.
Oh, the Yoga Pants one?
No, there is a Welcome to the Shit Show, but this is the Yoga Pants one. It's Yoga Pants because jeans are stressful and you don't need that in your life. Like, Like nobody needs jeans in their life, especially during quarantine. Like yoga pants is where it's at. So I laughed so hard when I opened this, and I know you didn't mean to send me this gift, but I really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. I'm that generous apparently these days. No, it was so funny because I was out of town with my daughter, and we were watching your live because we got back to the hotel and we like traveled and I worked and we did the live and then we explored and then we got back to the room and we're like, let's just hang out, and you were on. So I'm like, oh, and then you pull it out and I'm messaging you on Slack and I think I'm texting you and I think I'm writing comments and I'm like, don't open him. That's not $15. Those are mine. And then it was your mom who happened. You never saw any of my comments or acknowledged it.
I never saw your comment.
And so then your mom, so if anyone questions like how often we see comments, like you didn't even see my comments because like so many comments come through during a live that we don't see all the comments. And all of a sudden, I hear you say, oh, my mom just texted me and Annie made a comment not to open them. And I'm like, thank you, Megan's mom.
I know. It was so funny. And usually if she texts me during a live, I know something's wrong. I know either I froze or there's something I'm not seeing. So I knew I had to look at it. And then I opened my computer with the Slack that we communicate on. And I was like, oh, shoot, I wasn't going to open them anyways because I knew it was a mistake and I didn't want people to get confused, but my excitement level of what could potentially be in there was like through the roof. And I was like a kid in a candy store. I couldn't like contain myself. So as soon as I went off the live, I was like, I need to see what these are right now. I know, girl. I'm sorry, but they're really good. They're really good. Oh my
God, that's too funny. You know, it's funny how you said that you like watch your phone and whatever, like during a live to see what's going on. So yeah, I kind of keep tabs as like maybe my volume isn't working or maybe something's going on and that's why I'm getting messages. And on Friday night, so my daughter was like popping in and out of the live on Friday night, and all of a sudden, and I'm in Savannah, and all of a sudden I'm starting getting Slack messages from Piper Lou, and I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong? And then also my girlfriends are texting me, and all of a sudden there's all these different locations. My computer and my phone are all having these different messages pop up. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? So I just kind of kept going because normally I'll see something pinned at the bottom as well, and I didn't see that. So I got off the live. Piper Lou sending me messages about, oh, you're in Savannah. You should go see this place and don't forget about this place and make sure you stop here. And I'm like,
and you're like, I'm literally live right now, you guys.
I'm stressing out thinking something's wrong. And then I go to my girlfriends and my girlfriends are like, oh, don't forget to go to Leopold's and get ice cream. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone's messaging me about freaking Savannah during the live. And I thought there was a major problem, but there was not. I was just drunk. That's the major problem that was going on there, which.
That's good. That was like the time I should have had my Slack open, but I accidentally told everyone that our tie-dye was, what did I say? It was $10
or something.
I think I went on the live and I completely misunderstood something. And I went and I was like, yeah, our tie-dye is $10. I did this whole half-hour live about how our tie-dye was $10.
What a crazy good deal.
I got back to my computer and I was so excited about it. I went through every design again. And then I get back to my computer and our boss is like, Megan, the tumblers, we're doing a sale on tumblers. Those are $10, like these specific ones, not tie-dye. I was like, oh no, like my life flashed before my eyes. I was so embarrassed. I just felt so bad. So anyways, I totally understand the anxiety when you're getting Slacks when you're live because you're like, oh my God, something's wrong. I'm saying something wrong.
Yep.
But nothing will ever be as bad as what I did. But I deleted it and I fixed it.
Actually, I told you afterwards, I think your correction was funnier than your actual original live. So I think it worked out best. Man.
I was in weekend mode for sure. So I apologize if you guys were ever watching that live.
Because that's 30 minutes you'll never get back.
That's 30 minutes you'll never get back. But we're human. Annie and I are human. I think that's the real reason why we wanted to do this podcast as well, because you guys get to see the real us all the time anyways, but there's something different about it being a podcast. It's even though we're on camera, it takes away the pressure of being on camera and just kind of you're just chit-chatting like a FaceTime.
Okay, so this is not more professional than our lives. This is less professional than our lives because I don't know if that's possible, really. To be less professional. Like, for example, this week we did the shirtless hotties, the Piper Lou dudes, and the shirtless selfies and everything. So all weekend I was getting shirtless selfies from Well, random guys, but I mean, they're not. I mean, there are who's and our dudes and everything. But yeah, and then I had to forward those all over to our designer to help put together so we could post it properly. And, I'm sure that was not really what she expected for her day, to be sent a whole bunch of shirtless selfies either. So, so this is
bless their souls,
less professional than what generally happens.
I would say this might be a step less. I would say that. It's not even that. I just feel like I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I just feel like we're literally on the phone with all of our listeners. Like we're on the phone. Like we're having this like personal girls chat, girls FaceTime.
I can see that. Yeah. I think we should drink to that.
Drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers, girl. Cheers. There we go.
Did I miss your second cheers? I was already drinking.
No.
Sorry.
I went like this and I was like, I was trying to get the don't you wish your coffee was hot like me in the frame. That way people could see it.
I don't even know if I did that. There we go. There it is.
Yeah, I see it. Oh my gosh, I love. So what do we have planned for today?
Well, we have this really pretty fishbowl of comments.
Did you do that, Annie?
I did. I love that you're trying to be all like, surprise, but no, you didn't know I did. I don't know if you knew I did this, but you knew that I was going to put together questions, and you did know I sent them to you. If you looked,
I did. So you did send them to me, and I'll tell you exactly what I did. You sent me a lot of them, and I was so impressed by like the first 3. I was like, this is gold. And I didn't want to read the rest of them because I thought I just want to say whatever comes to my head. So these are fishbowl questions, you guys. So Annie did come up with these like really funny questions that her and I are going to like talk about. And I just was like, oh my God, these first 3 are hilarious. I don't even know. Just gold star for Annie. So yeah, I have no idea potentially what's coming out of that bowl.
Okay.
And I'm a little nervous.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of them are fairly innocent. I think a handful of them are a little bit more questionable.
And we're probably going to get that handful.
Let's see. Okay, I got to pick one. Let's see.
I just love, for you guys not watching this on YouTube and you're listening, you have to, this fishbowl, the coloring is just impeccable. It's so bright and rainbow.
It is so pretty. I've got yellows and blues and greens and pinks, and it's just so pretty. All right.
It's so beautiful.
So this is actually an interesting question. And I remember once years ago, I was asked this specific question on an interview, and I was very emphatic about what my answer was. So I'm curious what yours is. Should a guy pay for a date? Which I know seems like a super weird interview question, but there was a reason for it in my interview. But that was the question. Should a guy pay for the date?
Was this your Piper Lou interview?
It was not.
Oh, okay.
It was not.
So it's actually really funny that you bring this up because I, for a hot second, not to toot my own horn, I did this show on Freeform called Debate Date. And they gave us this question. And I was on the side of pro guys paying for the date. And then the guy across from me was anti. And okay.
So you think a guy should pay for? This guy sitting across from you was debating you, but why a guy should not pay for it.
Correct.
Okay.
So I think, it depends. I definitely think a guy should pay for the first date. And I know that potentially there could be a lot of first dates for them because sometimes they go on a date, it doesn't go well, whatever. That's why I always think a first date should be something simple, like a drink or coffee. And then if it's going well, then you continue on. But even though we're both really like strong and powerful women and we can take care of ourselves, there's just something so great about being treated to. I don't even look at it as it like he's saying, I'm taking care of you. It's like, I'm honored to be out with you right now. So let me pay for this.
Well, really, I mean, let's look at all of this. You should be honored to go out with this.
You should be honored right now. But yeah, that's how I feel. And I always offer, I will always say, would you like to split? But I don't mean it, not on the first date.
Right.
But I just, I just want to be nice. But then if he's like, sure, let's split it. I'm like, okay.
Never going out with you again. What was the argument that the guy had on that with why a guy should not pay?
His side was a little different because he's gay. So for him, it was interesting because it's like, for them, the gender is the same. So it's like who does, and what did he say in his? He said that he thinks it's better to split, because that way no one feels like they owe anyone anything else. But there were some other couples that I also saw in the show. They kind of pieced us together. And some women were saying that they like to split on the first date exactly for that reason. They don't want to feel like they owe the guy anything.
If a guy pays for me for dinner, I still don't feel like I owe him anything.
And that's how it should be. And that's
like, how it should be. No, a man, in my opinion, a man should pay. That's my opinion. Maybe that's my old school.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that a man should pay. That's where it should be. And that's what he should be doing.
I totally agree. But then, you get to the point where my boyfriend and I are now, where we've been together for over a year and we're total, like we live together now. So it's very much like, we go out and I'll be like, babe, I got it this time. But
how often do you do that? Out of the two, like, let's say you go out 3 times that week. Are you offering every time? Are you offering once a week? Are you calculating it in your brain where you're like, okay, well, I paid last Thursday. We went out Friday, Saturday. We stayed home on Sunday. It's now Monday. Do I have to pay? I think I can get him to pay one more time. Like, where are you? Like, how?
That's funny.
You don't do that?
No,
is that just me?
Well, we don't go out that much because we're like, well, we're not. There was a time where Megan was very, very broke. I can live now. I'm like, I can live. I can feed myself.
Because you're at Target all the time, by the way, but okay.
This is true. This is true, girl. You just spoke the word right there. Like, I need to reel back on that for sure. But no, so a lot of times I'll go to the grocery store and I'll pick him up little things like lunch, or I'll get stuff for us. So then it's very balanced. And, but a lot of times he'll make me I'm going to be super cutesicles right now. A lot of times he'll text me when he's at work and he's like, babe, I really want to take you out this weekend. And I'm just like, okay. He makes it and I get all blushy and everything. I'm always like, oh my God. It feels like a first date, even though we've been together for 2 years now. So, so when he says things like that, I know for sure he wants to take care of it. But usually if it's dinner, he'll take care of it. If we go out for breakfast and lunch, I'll be like, hey babe, I got it. So that's kind of how I determine it.
So you pick the cheaper meals.
He's sitting right over there. So he's probably like, oh, that's how she does it.
So basically,
he's like, oh, I get it now.
Basically, you're picking the cheaper meals. I figured it out now. So dinner is him because that's usually drinks, maybe an appetizer. It's usually a more expensive meal. Breakfast you can get away with for $20, $30.
Yeah, 100%. And coffee, and it's all good. It's
I
all
got
good.
you.
Hey,
I got what you're doing there. I got it.
But what, when you go out on first dates, I know you've been with the hammer for a little bit now, but when you do you ever have a story about someone, have you offered to split and they were like, yes, and you were like, I'm not seeing them again?
No, I don't offer to split. I don't even offer. I don't even offer. Maybe that's actually, I did have a guy once pointed out, and he's like, I mean, you could at least do the fake reach for your bag thing and pretend you're even gonna do it. But he's like, you didn't even do that, and I'm like, no.
It also depends on who asked the other person out.
He asked me out, and I'm like, sure, I'll go out with you. And so we went out to dinner, and then the check came, and he's like, okay, I'll get it. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay. Because of course that's your job. You're going to go get it. And he's like, well, you could have at least done the reach over and pretend you're going to reach into your bag and get your wallet. And I would have said, no, I've got this. And I'm like, well, I knew you had it. So why would we go through the game? You're going to pay. I'm going to sit here and look cute. We're done.
Yeah. Right? You had to put on the makeup and everything.
Right?
Boy.
And that was a conversation I had with my daughter today, by the way, where she's like,
oh, okay.
She's like, I think there are more beautiful women than really hot guys, but that's because women put so much effort into, this is the deep conversation we have on the plane, right? That women put the effort in to do the makeup and the hair and all that stuff. And she's like, and guys just don't. So either the guy has to just be a good looking guy, Whereas a woman can maybe not be as attractive, but she can put herself together really nicely. And then all of a sudden, like,
that's actually a really good point. Like a guy just kind of has to come out the womb being like good looking. And if they're not, they better have a great personality.
Right? I mean, funny goes very far for me though.
Funny does go far. Yeah. Funny does go far. Okay, this is kind of related, kind of not, but I just had a moment. Speaking of women, you know, putting themselves together, getting ready. Do you shave your arms?
Like your arms? Like my forearms and stuff?
Yeah.
No. I've never, but I don't have very much hair on there. It's like some very fine baby hair. And that's it.
Same. And we're blonde. So, you know, if it's there, well, you know, fake blonde.
I mean,
we were born blonde. So, you know, but the arm hair, as yours is probably too, is like blonde, you know? So, you know, we shave our legs, we shave our armpits.
We take care of
the shave our downtown area. Yeah. Yes. And then, so we're in the car the other day and I noticed that my arms, the way the light was hitting them, they looked very, very hairy. And I said, oh my God, babe, I'm like, look at my arms right now. Have you ever noticed my arm hair? And bless his soul, he was trying to be so polite. And he was like,
no.
And I was like, babe, is that weird? I was like, do you shave your arms? And he's like, well, you know, I trim everything up. And I'm like, should I? And he's like, maybe ask your girls like what they do. But I did. He was like buzzing his head and I went in and I buzzed my arms. Because I was worried. Really,
do you remember the old fashioned advice? I guess of like you should like when you shave, it comes back thicker and darker. And
yes.
So are you worried?
Yes.
Okay, I got a story about that. Like when I was like, I don't know, 12, I had like a random stray boob hair and I shaved it rather than plucked it. And now they're like 8 that I have to pluck regularly. Even into these like years and years and years later, there are like 8 hairs now that all of a sudden grow in black and long. I never would need to know about my boob hair. I get that. But
girl,
now I have to.
Can I low-key make a confession?
Yeah.
I have the same exact thing.
Did you shave it? Did you ever shave it? And then all of a sudden?
I think once upon a time and now I have to pluck.
Thank you. So I'm a little worried about
You're not alone in this.
Thank you.
You're not alone in this.
I was a little embarrassed about saying it out loud, but then I was like, what the hell? I always say I share all sorts of random shit. So why not, right?
No.
So now and it's only my left boob because I didn't shave the right one.
Oh, mine are both, unfortunately.
Did you shave both of them?
I think once upon a time I did, and now I'm paying for it.
And you know,
yeah, I know.
Do you know like when you pluck your eyebrows and then they just kind of the hair stops growing in that place? Like,
yes.
Why is it not stopped? It's been 30 years and it still has not stopped growing in there.
You are preaching to the choir. This is scientific evidence that you and I need to look into because you have no idea how relieved I feel that you just said that. Like, I was like, I'm not a freak of nature. I'm not alone. You guys, if you guys have the same problem, make sure you comment in the comments below. And if you don't, then you are blessed.
Yes. Well, or maybe you just never shaved. Like you didn't like heed your mama's advice. And I've tried telling my daughter over and over and over again. She's like, Mom, I Googled it. It's not a thing. And I'm like, honey, it's a thing. I'm telling you, I am living proof. My boobs will show you that, yes, if you shave, it'll come. So I'm worried about your arm hair. I'm worried that since you buzzed them, that they're going to come back darker and black and all of a sudden you're going to be like a hairy gorilla on your arms with this long, beautiful blonde hair.
Girl, same, you know, and that was the reason why I didn't take a razor to them because I was like, okay, a razor, it's definitely going to come back thicker. But so my boyfriend has a tattoo sleeve. And so he does keep it, you know, trim that way, you know, you could see the artwork. Right. And I said to him, I'm like, babe, does yours come back darker and thicker? He's like, no. So he's like, yours won't either. But I'm like, we're different.
You cannot see me if you're listening to this, but I am nodding my head so hard. I think I'm giving myself whiplash because no, we are not the same. Yes, we are different. We will get big black hairs.
So I will keep you posted on the status. So I did not, like I said, I did not take a razor to it. I did do the buzzer. So there's still like the
are they like
hairs
spiky
there.
now?
No, Because you know what? Like, has your son ever like buzzed?
Yeah.
His,
So he's got
head?
like the guard or whatever on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I did. That's what I did with my arms. So it kind of like glazed over them. Girl, it was so crazy. I was just like, it was just like blonde hair, just like all over the bathroom. My boyfriend's like, what are you doing? I'm like, my arms are so hairy and I've never done this in my life. I'm 32 years old. I've never touched my arms. But I told him, I'm like, babe, I'm like, we shave all the things. Like the last thing I want to add to the list is my arms. And lo and behold, I just did it.
You just did it.
I just did it. Oh, anyways, I'm really glad we talked about this.
I am too. You know what? I think it's a topic that is like, it's like hidden and we're ashamed about our boob hair. But I think a lot of us have it. So yes, as Megan said, if this is happening to you, please let us know because we want to not feel alone in the world. And this is a topic that not many people talk about, except for the two blondes who walked into a bar.
The two blondes who walked into a bar. And did I not tell you in the beginning of the podcast this was going to get more real than real?
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, I have talked about some pretty crazy topics on the lives too. So, I mean, I feel like
this is true. The lives we still go there, but this is the real of the real with us together.
That's true. That's because we don't get a whole lot of opportunities to work together, like and collaborate together like this. So should we try and do one more question?
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Let's do one more. Yeah.
All right.
I love how the one question brought us into all these like little tangents.
I love how the one question lasted for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's so great. It's so great.
All right, here we go.
It's going to take us forever to get through this fishbowl.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going with serious topics today. Here is another one. I mean, that last question was actually, should a guy pay for a date? I don't know how we got into boob hair from So I'm really concerned as to where this one's going to go. All right. So
I forgot the initial.
That was the question that we started with.
That was the question.
All right. Have you ever been with someone with a small wiener?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you're not going to elaborate at all? You're just going to say yes and leave it at that? Is it your boyfriend?
Because I have to think about it.
Is it your boyfriend?
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, you don't have to tell us, but I'm going to ask anyway.
We're good there. I think it was twice.
Two different guys,
or
you slept with the same guy twice?
Yeah, no. Both time was just a one-time situation because I was like, oh, and it's sad. You don't, you don't want to judge because like us, sometimes we're gonna have hairy armpits
or hairy boobs,
and sometimes, and so you can't judge. But if you're gonna. If that's going to be your situation, you have to know how to work it. And they did not. How about you?
I mean, I don't know because I mean, the person who said it's not the size, it's how you use it. Is that the expression?
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm,
that was a guy with a small wiener. I mean, because he was just trying to make up for like the fact that he had a small wiener. So I have once. And I actually dated him for a couple months. Like I tried.
Oh, good for you. You're a better person than me.
I tried. But it's not like how you use it. The size does matter. I mean, whoever said it doesn't had a small one and tried to make the world believe that. But no, it does matter.
But it also needs to be like right in the middle. Because sometimes it can be a little scary.
Well, yeah, you don't want it too big where you're like kind of feeling like you're getting ripped apart either. I mean, that's not
exactly. You're just kind of like, whoa.
Yeah, like if you look at it and it's like an arm laying there, and you're like, I don't even know what to do with that. And I feel like I may have had this conversation either it was on a live or with a girlfriend. I'm not sure which because they kind of all blur together. But yeah, I feel like in my experience. That a guy who's had too much equipment to work with has a little trouble working that equipment sometimes, like maintaining it in proper working order.
Interesting.
That's what I don't know if like all of the blood has to like flow out of their body just to get that ready to go. I'm not sure.
And then they're just dumb.
They're just brain dead. I don't know. Like they can't. I don't know. Yep. Like it's like one or the other seems to be working, and it's not both. It's definitely not both at the same time. because I think it just takes all of the blood. And then like, then like at some point they maybe have a thought and all the blood rushes back up there, and then like the equipment
and then
suffers.
it's just they can't do two things at once. And it's women are multitaskers, and it's like, can't you just think and get your shit to work at the same time?
Right. No.
And they can't.
No. And I mean, you're not a mom yet, but I mean, a mom will be making dinner, helping with homework, listening to the TV, talking on the phone. The mailman shows up and they're like, having a little chit chat with the mailman while dinner's still cooking, while the kids are still doing homework, while they're on the phone. I mean, like it's amazing the number of things that women can do all at the same time. And all of them are fairly, like, I would say we do it pretty well. This is not to bash men, because men can do a lot of things really well. That one thing seems to be a singular focus. Like,
it's such a singular focus. Yeah. It really is. And it's kind of unnerving sometimes, because you're like, we are so great at multitasking. Yeah. But it just is, I guess. There's no other way to explain it. It's just something that we women can bond over.
Yeah.
Because there's just no other way around it. But yeah, I can't imagine multitasking even more when that day does come for me.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Dear. I mean, I'm on the tail
You're going
to
be there for the whole thing.
What?
Yes, I said you're going to be there for the whole thing. Maybe not the whole thing.
Wait, what? I mean,
you won't be there for the whole thing.
I mean, I'm on the tail end of this here. I'm on the way out as you're moving in, and I don't know if I want to go backwards, but I will like be on the sidelines and I will be cheering you on for parts of it.
Oh man. Oh, okay, yeah, for parts. We're ridiculous.
We are.
This is fun, though.
This is fun.
I'm excited about this.
This is fun.
This is good.
So, yeah, should we wrap it up? It's like 31 minutes, so I feel like maybe we should just tie it up in a little bow, close it out a little bit. Thank Piper Lou for giving us the chance to be this ridiculous and support our crazy ideas and sponsor all of our shenanigans. I should have worn that hat.
For sponsoring? Oh, yes. First, giving Annie and I a wardrobe, for giving Annie and I things to wear every day.
Yeah.
Well, that we buy as well. And, just for accepting and embracing us and all of you guys. And so, yeah, we really want to add to the fishbowl. So if you guys have any suggestions of things and questions we should put in there, please let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think of our podcast, what else you want us to talk about. And yeah, we'll be here every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much, girl. It was great sharing a beverage with you. It
was. Cheers to that, girlie.
Cheers. I love our little cheers. And we'll see everyone next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.